Yo, and welcome. It's your Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Gunslingers. Listen, we discuss all Arsenal topics, whatever you want. We discuss it today. It's pretty much kind of part one of a season review. And to go through that with me, I have my esteemed guests. Brezzy Gunner Page. Where you been, bruh? It's been a minute. What's been happening? Hope you're well.
Yeah,
Great
sorry,
to have you on.
It's just been work. It's just, it's never.
It's life. It's life. Don't worry, bro. It's life. It's life. Gumza, my G.
What's going on?
Happening?
Everything good?
All good. Gunner King, the TikTok fanatic, the TikTok man. Listen, no one can touch you on TikTok, bro. Seriously,
bro.
Literally
Man,
the king.
there, man. Trust me.
King of TikTok. Wicked. And my G, the one and only Nigerian Englishman from One Touch TV. How you doing, Listen,
what's going on?
I have to always bring you in last, man, because I know you always got a nice entrance for us, nice tune for us. I swear that.
Always come with that
Love
flavor. Always.
Whoo! So, season's done, ended, and what I wanted to bring up today pretty much was basically I want to get your guys' juices flowing with certain stats, certain things that maybe you know already. However, there are a few little kind of ones where you'd be like, okay, let's see him next season. Let's see if he can produce that next season. So, Gumza, I'm going to come to you first off, okay? Yeah. And what I want to do is pretty much bring up this. Now, it's not great reading, I know. Not great reading. However, Mikel Arteta, Edu, the Cronkies have all said there's a process in place. Now, how do you define this process? It is my question. My question to you guys is, how do you base the process? A process of more points than you had last season, more wins than you had last season, beating certain types of teams than teams than last season, a proper style of play. Here's one criteria that I've just picked up here. And look, although we've kind of, I wouldn't say plateaued, but we've kind of got a little bit of a flat line in terms of our league position. However, there are certain things that we can actually say, do you know what? There's a bit of improvement. The most notable one there is the points tally. Now, had we had that points tally,
notable, you
know. Well, I could argue the defensive. Defensively we've done bloody well, to be fair. But Gumza,
yes.
Are you trusting the process thus far?
Yeah, I'm kind of more optimistic than others. What I will say, sorry, some feedback. Is that me or you can hear me all right?
I can hear you.
Yeah. So sometimes I like to look deeper than actually the league table. The league table don't lie. We haven't been good enough for the last 2 years.
That's what I was literally just about to say. The league table don't lie.
It don't lie. We've improved on points. Our defensive record's better, and it shows because we're not as creative going forward. Even though we scored, it looked like the same amount or a couple more goals. We haven't been good going forward. But one thing I'd like to kind of touch on is actually the state of the squad. So again, just by looking into things a bit deeper, the process, I think, is to obviously rebuild. We've been papering over cracks for the last 10 years. I think the process now is to rebuild. And I think we're rebuilding okay. I looked at the squad. Obviously, Louise is going. If Willian does go, we've only got one player over 30 years old, which is Aubameyang. So in terms of the process, I think the process is now to make the squad younger for resale value. So I think we're actually on track for that. If you now look at the players we've got, when you're talking about losing Mustafi, Kolasinac, we're talking about we're giving them away, or you're talking 2.55 million here. You haven't got that. We've had to give them away. If you now flip it to say we need to get rid of Rob Holding, we're now talking we want 15 to 20 mil. If, do you know what I mean? You're talking Maitland-Niles is 20 to 25. Willock, we're talking 30. So the days of selling El Nene for 5, do you know what I mean? Letting Mkhitaryan leave on a free. We've actually flipped it. We've now got a younger squad. If you look at the first team, the only guys, you say Aubameyang's 30 in the 31, then you're talking Leno, Partey, Xhaka at 28. So they're now in their prime. So actually, there's a bit of sell-on value in some of our players. So I don't want to look at the table this year. I think the rebuild's actually not to do with coming fourth this year. I think it's more about clearing out the dead, getting rid of the old regime and bringing in a new regime. So I was having a conversation with someone the other day and they said they wouldn't want Edouard, they want Danny Ings because he's proven. And to me, actually, that's a backward step because, again, there's no sell-on value later. Even if we get Edouard in and he doesn't, just Edouard kind of follows Lacazette's footsteps and hits the exact same numbers. Him at 26, you'll get 35, 40, 50 mil for him and we're buying him maybe for 12, 15. Danny Ings could do 30 goals a season in 3 years. You're not getting no money for Danny Ings now. Do you know what I mean? So,
3 years.
Yeah, I think the process is actually about getting rid of the old regime and what we was doing and actually bringing in a squad where you can now make money to now reinvest back in the squad. So I know I went on a bit of a different tangent, but
listen.
I want to add to that, if that's all right.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. Do you know what? The thing is that was a great start because it was it was passionate and it was very well thought out. And the thing is, you get a few rolled eyes from Nigerian Englishmen.
Always going to get them.
We will come to him. But I guess now I know that King is on your side. So look, it looks like I'm going to put here the case for. I'll put the people for the case for first. So Gunner King.
Quickly before Gunner King lands,
what I wanted to speak about
these Chelsea guys in the comment section.
Adds to the rebuild context here is actually what's going on behind the closed doors. So, I think, there's been a few coaches that have been let go. So it looks like they're looking to change the backroom setup. Richard Garlick, who they brought in from the Premier League, who is our new director of football. I think what was happening with what seemed quite obvious with the summer last year was that Edu and Arteta were trying to do the most with the transfers, like trying to negotiate everything and get the players and identify them and all this. But this guy's going to be, he's the one that's conducting the talks with Norwich for Buendia at the moment. So
are you believing that then that there is talks at the moment? Because listen, we're going to be tagged with every single player that is okay and who is possibly available. Now, do you actually believe what are we talking about?
No, so what I'm saying, what I wanted to go back to that point is obviously there was a lot of deadwood in the pitch that we had to get rid of in the squad, but then obviously there was a lot of things that were missing in the backroom setup that they're bringing in. Look, obviously the Kroenke situation, the ESL stuff, that's obviously detracted from the process a bit. But I think you got to do those things together, because if you're going to be moving people out on the pitch, as Gumza is saying, that aren't up to standard in the squad, you need the right people to be able to make that possible. To identify suitors, to negotiate prices, to do all of that stuff. And I think
is for you Edu part of that.
Edu's a big part of that, but I think Edu's been too big a part of that. So I see
the right man to do it.
Not on his own, because the guy played football. He hasn't held a technical director role. He hasn't sort of worked in this capacity anywhere before. So bringing in this guy's experience, I think he worked for Sunderland, was it before, or Stoke? But then for the last year or two he's worked for the Premier League itself.
Okay,
and he's an expert. He's an
Premier
expert.
League, I know that much. Yeah,
he's an expert in sports law. So it's you kind of need that side of it, because Edu's if there's one thing Edu's going to be able to do is look at a footballer and see if he's good. like appraise the players that the scouts are presenting to him and Arteta. So I think the process with what Gumza was saying maybe not would have been so focused on league position this year. And I know that they've spoken in the press about 2022, 23 targets.
And
They've not
just
even,
to touch on that, sorry,
they've not even spoken about this year.
Do you think that's why Arteta's still in a job?
Yeah.
It's the only reason. It's the only reason. They've committed to this when they brought him in. And they said they wouldn't deviate from it.
Just to touch on that, Gunnar, as well, as I said, there's managers out there you can get as a stopgap, and then obviously Arteta's job is to rebuild. If I look at, I don't want to say the word, but the Red Manx, I think it's the same thing with Ollie. I don't think Ollie could ever win the league, but I think what Ollie's done well is he's got the squad together.
He's stabilised them,
He's stable. He's got rid of the ones they don't want. He's brought in some better players. I think if they're able to get Sancho, a DM, and a centre back, and next year get a good striker, I think then Ollie's done his job. It might be time for him to move aside, and then another manager comes in and wins the league for them. I think a bit like Chelsea, where Lampard stabilised it, got team in place. Now you give that same team to a proper manager. Look how it functions different. So I said from the start, I don't know if Arteta's the right guy, but actually let him finish the rebuild, because I'm only not judging his transfer window on 2 players, but the
You're not judging it on one proper window either, because January we don't get the chance.
Yeah, January we don't do. So
even though he's worked over 3 windows, he's only had this summer's window to actually. Yeah. And
I said there's going to be players coming in. Sorry, just one more thing. There's going to be players coming in who fill gaps, which is fine. The main things he addresses for me was Gabriel was a great signing, and actually addressed the massive problem we haven't solved in years. And then the other one was Partey, who we haven't solved that midfield problem. So if he now solves the right back problem, and you know what I mean, a number 10, regardless of what he brings around that, if that first 11 is looking like a winning team, then actually he's done well. So you might bring in a Bertrand, as I said, we've argued about it before, but if that means you can go and get an hour and Max Aarons, and Bertrand literally just sits. Again, we're not in Europe, Gunnar. So Tierney's the main man. If Bertrand plays 6 games for us this season, so be it. Do you know what I mean?
You forget Bertrand played in the Champions League final, for God's sake.
Yeah.
So he's not a bad player,
but my thing is, if you use their make weights to enable you to, so Cedric Suarez is a free transfer, which enables you to get Partey. As I used before, Willian was free. If we decided to spend half the money on Partey on a right winger, we would have Daniel James instead of Willian, which it doesn't improve you long term. So actually, I'd rather a dead player. You might have, but
you know what?
Would you have preferred him if we didn't get Partey and we got a half decent centre midfielder?
We didn't.
I'm gonna tag Nigerian Englishman in here.
Go on.
You're itching. I can see it when you're sitting there like this.
I'm just confused, bro. I'm confused.
That's when
you know it's passionate. Look. Like, what we saying here, like, Arteta's, like, Gunnar King said something wild about he's only had 1 official transfer window. So the players he signed in the other transfer windows, what are they then?
They were loan signings, weren't they? They were loan signings. None of them were permanent signings.
Okay, but he made, those are his, he was the manager when we made them signings.
But the fact that he had to wait for them is what got the start of the season where it was in the first place. Can you imagine if he had Odegaard at the beginning of the season, or Auer, as well as Partey, which is obviously the area that he identified, right?
He's the reason why we even needed a number 10 in January. He's the reason. So he gets no credit for this Odegaard thing at all. No credit whatsoever.
Who would you class out of his signing since the summer? So we say Odegaard, Mari, Cedric, Willian, Partey, Gabriel. Who weren't you happy with as such? I know Willian's going to be first. That's cool. But who else would you say is a bad signing?
I'd have to say Suarez. And the only reason I'm saying Suarez is because Arteta doesn't like him. So it doesn't make sense what's going on with him. So
and again, so when I come back to it, that cost us nothing apart from wages. So it's nothing for nothing. Do you know what I mean? So again, give me a next one.
What other signings were there? So give me the signings.
Mari, Odegaard, Cedric, Willian, Partey.
Odegaard. You know why I'm
upset? You weren't happy with Odegaard?
Should I tell you why it's a bad signing?
Oh.
Should I tell you why?
Go on.
The two reasons why it's a bad signing is number one, what did he help us do? Number two, he's not at our club next season. So tell me what we gained from Odegaard signing. An 8th place finish.
He scored in the North London Cup.
8th place finish and knocked out in the semi-final of the Europa League, and the guy's going back with his so-called good form back to Madrid. So tell me how that was a good deal for Arsenal. You let me know. I'll wait.
I'm waiting. So you want me to answer you?
Also, because he scored in the
Brezzy, I saw your face
No,
then. Hold on, let Brezzy go. I saw Brezzy's face then. Go on.
brother, like the whole Odegaard thing was pointless. I would have gone all out to get Buendia in January more than
we're not signing. Brezzy, go on. Brezzy, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Brezzy, come in. You're waiting patiently. You've been waiting patiently.
Right, Odegaard. Hello, that guy's got talent. Yes, okay, he may have been slow a bit because obviously it's a new league. But I tell you what, do not sleep on Odegaard. I don't care.
Yeah, man, no way, man.
Brezzy, I'm with you about that. I'm not against him being a great player, but he's not our player, bro.
But we're going to make him our player.
And he's not going to be our player. We can't.
Do you know what? I understand what Nigerian Englishman is saying.
If we sign him in the summer, then I'll shut my mouth.
It seemed like a stopgap. It seemed like an emergency kind of thing.
Yeah.
In the sense that
you guys
they didn't have a plan in place. They didn't know what they were. So okay, he's available. Let's get him.
Yeah, exactly.
And I understand.
I do get your point. Sorry, let me go, Brezzy. But just say now we have spunk 50 on him and he didn't deliver. So a loan's a no-brainer. And if you look at our form since Christmas... we stuck 70 on Pepe.
Our form has dramatically changed. We've got Smith Rowe.
We might be starting to bear the fruit of that 70. Some players take time.
They do, yeah. But for me, we don't spend money in January anyway. And if you look at our form since Christmas, we've been second or third best team in the league. So actually, I know you're saying he's gone back, and if he then steps into Madrid's team, but it showed again that we actually need a player in that position. Imagine if he didn't deliver, we might say actually we go back to the three at the back or whatever. It's showing us that actually that's what we've missed. So.
Sorry, but
and I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that we won't sign him.
One second, go ahead. Sorry.
All I'm saying is that you actually need people to fight for that place. It's all right, it's having Odegaard and or Smith Rowe there, and then like with Bellerin, they're guaranteed to get a game every single season because of that. Obviously, there's no one else there to challenge them. If you've got Odegaard and Smith Rowe, you've got Partey, Basuma, El Neni as a squad player. Those people are going to fight for those places because they're going to want to be on that starting 11, which is what we've not had for so many years.
Yeah,
and we've
people on Pepe.
So are you trusting the process then, Brezzy? Are you trusting this process, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I think if he gets the backing,
I thought he was on your side, Nigerian Englishman.
Brezzy. The thing is, when my defense, I'm not trying to say I 100% trust the process. Yeah, there are elements of doubt to it, and there are areas that need improving, like dramatically. Yeah, but if I look at what has happened to try and make that happen this season, and I looked at Odegaard signing for us on loan, I wouldn't look at that as one of the problems, as one of the reasons that we are where we are right now. In fact, I would, but for the opposite reasons, because as Kelvin said, our league position has improved since him and ESR have gone into the team. And since they've either competed for one place or both played in the same team. We've looked better for it going forward. It's because we weren't scoring goals at the beginning of the season before they were in the team. That was a problem. And it took them too long to try and fix that problem. And they shouldn't have let Arteta go into the season when he had said that is a player that is a position I need a player in. Yeah. And they've made him choose between which problem do you want to solve more. They didn't say, here you go, have two players solve both problems. They said, which problem do you want to solve more? And ultimately, he chose defense because our defense is weaker than our attack. So that's not really on our turn.
Don't try and come with these names, all right? Because listen, I won't put your comments up. Yeah, right. I can see everybody looking at the name. Yeah,
could you imagine that as his real name?
Say it in your mind. Anyway.
I'll tell you another
It's
player.
a good question. It's a good question. I want to ask what you all basically quick yes or no. Do you think we'll get Buendia and Basuma? Brezzy.
You ask it.
Yes.
Okay. Gumza.
I think we get Guendouzi back and cut Zuma. I think we get one. Not both.
Okay. Nigerian Englishman.
They both want to come, but I think we'll just get one.
King.
I think we can get both.
Do you
I
think
think
we
we can
will?
get both.
No,
I think we can
will
get
we
both,
get both is the question. Not
Will
we?
Will,
will we?
I think we might. Yeah. I think if we don't get Basuma, if we don't get Basuma, if we don't get Basuma, we will get someone in that position. Like they will sign a number 10 and they will sign a centre. Yeah. I don't know. You know, he looks like a good option as well. But yeah, I think we can be optimistic about getting definitely Buendia. I would say Basuma is the less questionable one because bigger teams are fishing around him now as well.
Nah, but you lot all watched that game the other day, bro. He was putting himself in like, yo,
he was an audition. He was having an audition.
From the
And also,
minute one, he was up for it, like completely.
Yeah.
Nothing to play for. He just said, nah, the Emirates, I want to be playing here. So let me show them.
He was moaning at everybody.
Literally. Like they're playing for relegation.
It was great. It was great. Guys, what I want to do is just quickly move on. And I'm going to move on, right, to obviously the most used formation that we use this year, okay? And I'm going to bring in, we've had some stats. The stats guys at the back have been crunching all the numbers and they've put out our best first 11 of the season. So pretty much the criteria is where the players have played at least 10 games of the season, okay? So, Nigerian Englishman, I'm going to come to you first. This is our first 11.
Oh, wow. Bellerin.
Let me let you digest all of that for a minute.
Brother, Bellerin.
Yeah.
The one that's really making me struggle is Bellerin. I won't lie. Everyone else, I guess I'm sure Silver Fox is excited about the holding thing. That must be because Murray just hasn't played enough Premier League games. That's the only reason I can think of.
For me, there's two shocks. For me, there's two shocks. Number one, Leno being the worst, and no Pepe.
Yeah, I was surprised that Martinelli got the shout instead of Pepe.
Yeah, because I mean Martinelli's played considerably less.
Yeah, has he played 10? Is it 10 Premier League games or 10 games?
Yeah, 10 Premier League games.
Has Martinelli played 10 Premier League games?
Yeah, 7 start and 7 sub.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't see that coming, boy.
Yeah.
No,
So-
I'm not surprised. You know, Pepe probably. I don't know, man.
I mean,
That's
for
a
me,
weird one still.
Pepe's are nailed on right now. I mean, not for you. In terms of, I'll put it up again for these three. He's got to get in there, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
At this
You're really
rate,
thinking about it.
if you'd asked me our best 11, it would not have included Pepe.
Oh,
If I'm honest with you, our
and
best
one
11.
thing also as well with the players that he's actually bought, Arteta really there's only one player from who he's bought is in that team.
Nah, 2. Gabriel.
Sorry,
and Partey,
Gabriel and Partey. Sorry,
Yeah.
just those 2 players. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, was there any shocks for you?
The only shock for me is Hector, and that's just probably because he's played more games than any other right back. That's the only thing I can think of because he's been shocking.
I mean, the others have played 10 games. I mean, they've played, but as it comes to it,
I'm shocked. I'm baffled.
Where'd you get these ratings from?
Yeah, literally, bro.
oh man, I told you,
Wikipedia.
man.
Where did these
I've
ratings
got-
come from?
Listen,
Wikipedia, you know them ones there.
listen.
Wikipedia.
Why did I tell you, man, that just to kind of hold back on the wages this week? I had to use them. Get them as option, innit?
I was running my
Come on, man. I can't tell my
loaded.
school
Yeah,
fees.
That's
My check looks smooth this week. That's
what
why.
I'm saying, man. Get me. Sort it out. So this is what you're wasting our money on. Wikipedia stats and that. Brother, the only stat I would say was the only thing I'm surprised about is Bellerin. I would debate holding for Mari, but yeah, if you ask me our best 11, I would pick those. And that's not being harsh on Pepe, but if I had to pick between Pepe and Martinelli, I'll pick Martinelli because he's shown me more in his Arsenal career than Pepe has. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from the back end of the season that Pepe had. And I was surprised to see he's got double numbers in double figures in the league. Premier League, 10 goals. I was surprised at that.
Yeah.
So there's a bag of man that didn't reach 10 goals and they're saying they had good seasons. So boy,
yeah. True.
Pepe definitely had a decent year, but yeah.
Brezzy, I wanted to I think there's the elephant in the room here is how bad, or well, according to this, Leno's numbers is here. Did we miss a trick? Did we sell the wrong goalkeeper?
Hell yeah.
If you look at the stats of it all, I do like Martinez. I think he's had a very, very good season with Villa. I think that's
keeper of the year.
Yeah, he got Aston Villa's player of the season as well.
And they got Grealish in there.
Ooh. Probably came down to Grealish's injury a bit, but still, no, I think probably would have done it anyway.
That was the intro, your response, Prezi. So now, after we've given you those extra ad-libs, so what do you think now?
We're all together here, lads, aren't we?
Yeah, no, I wanted Martinez to stay. I did think that he, in the later half of the end of the last season, he was also the better goalkeeper. And I think, yes, I think they should have had the chance to fight out. I don't think we should have just gone straight in and said Leno's our number one. I think competition.
I think the only thing is though, Brezzy, I understand what you're saying, but I think it came to crunch time where Martinez's head was pretty much, I can do this. You know, he had strong performances when Leno got injured, and he was just like, I've done nothing wrong here. I've proven myself. What more do I have to do?
Yeah, but Martinez even came out and said he doesn't care about the money. He wants to play for Arsenal. So it's either someone in that board didn't want him there, or it's just his agent. He clearly wanted to be at Arsenal. We wanted him at Arsenal. So why didn't we not keep him for? Why can't we not have a decent squad depth? Why?
I think I don't know about you guys, but I think the kind of the club was backed into a corner here in the sense that the player said, "I want to play. If you ain't going to play me, let me go." I think that was the conversation. If I'm not your number one, sell me. That I feel was the conversation. It personally, that's how I think. And with a goalkeeper, it's not like you can shoehorn him in another position. There's only one goalkeeper, and that's a huge problem. Listen, we all know the quality of Martinez, and it's a huge shame actually. King,
I would say,
yes, go ahead.
About the keeper situation. This is where these are little decisions like the Guendouzi one that I blame the manager in terms of being able to handle the situation.
Yeah.
Because in that situation, the guy has just won you Community Shield, FA Cup. The players clearly look comfortable and confident with him at the back. The amount of goals
he's so calm, isn't he? He's so calm.
The way he's commanding at the back, all the boxes are ticked to say, do you know what, Leno? I'm going to make Martinez my number one to start off with. It's now for you to go back to that number one.
You should have made him earn his place back. Yeah,
I guarantee Martinez stays for that. How do you start him with the Community Shield and then tell him he's number two? Like, come on.
Well, you know what, then, guys, you've just now massaged Nigerian Englishman's argument regarding how can you trust his process.
No, I mean, let me go. Every process has.
See what I did for you there.
Yeah.
Let me jump in. So again, when you look at the pros and cons, we're not Chelsea, Man United, Man City, PSG who have endless money. So you remember, this is now transfer windows coming to an end. We tried to sell Guendouzi. We're thinking 30 million. Didn't sell him. We then tried to sell Torreira. No money coming in. He's got to go on loan. So now the board is saying, if you want Partey, you've got to raise them funds. So he's got a choice to make. Do I keep both keepers? Remember, Martinez only had 1 year left, and he could walk out on a free next year if he's not happy. I wanted him as number one. The fact he played Charity Shield, I thought he may be staying as number one. But again, now you're saying you've got to raise 25 mil, and you look around, you see he's the only one that's going to bring the 25 in.
On that point in particular that you're talking about, I'd say buy Maitland-Niles, go to Wolves.
Yeah,
But
he should have sold Maitland-Niles. He should have sold Maitland-Niles. But at the same time, Maitland-Niles hasn't gone, and now you've got to raise the 25. That's one position where you're thinking, actually, I can afford to lose one, and I've still got a good backup, a good player coming in as number one. So that's, do you know what I mean? I do feel we went wrong with not selling Maitland-Niles. But again, in that position, if he's saying, look, if I'm not starting every game, sell me, I won't sign the contract, I'm leaving on a free, then do you know what I mean? It's that, and that's now giving you the money to go and buy Partey. So if we're Chelsea, we could play pretty hardball with that. And my thing is, we've tried that with Alexis, we tried that with Van Persie, we tried that with so many players, and then we end up having to either let them go on a free or sell them in a rush in January. So to me, at least he made a decision. I'm not saying it was right or wrong, but I'm tired of us not making strong decisions and sticking with it. So
I think
what I would say.
160 million pounds worth of players has walked out the door since Wenger retired.
Yeah. So
on free contracts.
And sometimes you know what, you make your bed, you lay in it. He's got to live with that decision. Do you know what I mean? No one else can.
I think the goalkeeper perspective probably came from that as well, not wanting to repeat anymore.
Yeah, bad business. Yeah.
Like when I say I can't trust the process, it's because Arteta doesn't do himself any favors. So you keep Maitland-Niles, then to send them on loan in January. Like what? Are you okay? Like what did that happen? Like what's going on with you, bro?
When you look at it like that.
Okay.
That's bad. That's bad. But let me give you something worse, because again, you might go in there thinking Maitland-Niles is my left wing back and he don't perform. You can't preempt that. I'll tell you what was worse, when we turned down 15 million for Kieran Gibbs to then sell him 2 weeks later for like 8 million. When we turned down 10 million for Mkhitaryan, only to let him go on a free transfer because we wanted to hold out for 15.
We're not good on transfers, are we? We're not.
As I said, so. So when you put it in perspective, Maitland-Niles, again, at the start of the year, he might be thinking Maitland-Niles is my number one. The season starts and he's not producing. You can't, do you know what I mean?
Maitland-Niles ended the season well as well. Maitland-Niles ended last season well.
Oh, last
season. We was all saying keep him. So you can't sometimes foresee what players are going to do or who's going to down tools or whatever it is, do you know what I mean? But again, I'm more happy that actually we made... I don't think it was right. I loved Emmy. Emmy was my favourite for a long time we've had. But do you know, we stood by a decision and went with it. And Leno's not that bad, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I know Brezzy don't like him.
Oh, no, don't say that.
My mate here doesn't really like
him. The better goalkeeper. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So, King, what I want to say to you now
I don't like it.
It seems like our back four was probably the best, or back five was probably our best unit. However, it doesn't. It's not reflecting here in terms of your Bellerin 6.6, Gabriel 6.6, and Leno 6.5. I mean,
I think that the defense thing isn't just down to like the individual defenders. I think it's Arteta's setup that is set up to make us more difficult to break down. It's not like necessarily down to. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad defenders.
Unit, basically, yeah.
But yeah, I'm saying like how he tactically sets them up to like keep the ball, pass it out from the back, so that you're not like losing possession. Sometimes you're a bit too risky at the back with it.
Yeah.
But I think because of this system, it's allowed them to be better defensively. But the sacrifice is it's like.
What would you change? Would you change it? I mean, obviously, we're looking at Bellerin. What else could you or would you change there?
I think what concerns me with Kieran Tierney at the moment is his injury record, his fitness. So I definitely think, whilst it shouldn't be a priority position, we need to like have cover for him, because playing Xhaka there has not done us any favours. So I definitely think we need cover for him. And definitely another central midfielder, maybe as well, just to compete with Xhaka or to improve.
Compete?
Yeah, well, I think to do better, to be honest. Like, I don't know why I felt like being nice to him, but
so you're starting with these two.
Do better with Xhaka. And then I think maybe a centre back and a number 10 and a striker, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Did I say a right back as well? Because
right back is the most important.
That's the big one, isn't it? Really. I mean,
at least 5 players, man.
I think we definitely need someone here. I'd like to see Saliba here, someone else here, maybe a Basuma. I'm not against going with Smith Rowe to start this season. But I think Pepe for me has got to play. I mean, and I'm going to move on to Pepe because now I've actually now think that we've got a player that probably is not £72 million worth, but he's creeping up. And I think, boom. Right. So comparing his stats from last year, right? Appearances 24, 7 goals last year, 8 assists, and 7 man of the matches. However, this year now, 26 appearances, 16 goals, 5 assists, and 8 MOMs. Now, don't get me wrong, but I want to bring this to you, Nigerian Englishman. Pepe. For me, he's probably one now. You got Tierney, Saka. Then I'm putting Pepe on there in terms of on that team sheet.
Look, I'm not against Pepe starting, but boy, I like if in terms of their Arsenal careers, they've both been here for the same amount of time, no? Yeah, same amount of time. And in terms of someone I can rely on to perform week in, week out, it's Martinelli. If I had to put, I can't remember the last time Martinelli started a game that I would. Except maybe I think it was the Newcastle game. Maybe it was the one bad game he had or something. No, actually, he was man of the match at Newcastle. It was the one after that. He didn't get much service. I'm not sure, but it's rare. Look how hard I have to think for bad performances for Martinelli. Pepe, I could just list them.
No. Well, the only thing. Listen, I'm not going to badmouth Martinelli.
Exactly. So if I had to choose between the two,
what I will say is though, when he for me, he seems to be more of a, at this moment in time, more of an impact player. Rather than someone that you would start. I don't know if you guys would agree with that, because Martinelli is that, he brings that kind of that enthusiasm, etc. Whereas I think Arteta, and I haven't got it in a slide, but I compared Pepe from starting games, his stats for starting games, as opposed to when he comes on, and I think Arteta was trying to use Pepe as a. So I'm just going to mute the Nigerian Englishman because I think that's you with the static. Arteta was trying to use Pepe as an impact player from the bench, and I think he had something like 16 games from the bench and only 1 goal, as opposed to when he starts, he's scoring bags of goals. Fair enough, he might sometimes, frustrate you or whatever, but the thing with Pepe is that he can come alive, boom, at any minute, and he'll do something for you. The thing with Martinelli is that he's just got one...
Canners, he can come alive at any minute. Pepe, are we talking about the same guy?
Yes!
Like, tell me.
Can I say something on Martinelli?
Wow. King, be my guest.
What I would say with Martinelli is it's difficult to, it's easy to forget sometimes that he came back from a cruciate ligament injury.
And that's serious.
Especially at a young age, like it's really crucial that you let wounds heal, like when they're at that age, because their body's not fully developed. And like we saw what that's done to Wilshere, where he is now. Yeah. So I don't think it's because Arteta doesn't fancy him. I just think because he broke down once or twice this season.
I think it was twice. He came back, didn't he? And then broke down again.
So I think what he's doing now is he would just rather have him fully fit, like just like not 60 or 70 or 80% fit, fully fit, because he doesn't want to risk it. I think it's more to do with that than not trusting him.
Yeah.
And I think, given the circumstances of Pepe being there to be able to allow us that luxury, it's okay. You know, like, you know,
So
I think Pepe will
who
get
would
better
you go
this
with
next
then?
season as well.
In terms of like the top three there, would Pepe not be in that for you?
Personally, I would put Smith Rowe on the left, and I would put Saka as a number 10 and Pepe on the right.
Oh,
Yeah,
Gunner King, what is going on here? What
I
is
love
going
that.
because
on?
Smith Rowe would be cutting
Yeah.
inside with his right foot,
I
and then,
like
you know,
that.
obviously, like, Pepe would be doing the same on his left. Yeah, and just tell him just cut inside and shoot, or just square it along the ground instead of like going for crosses.
Who wants to challenge this one first?
Someone else
I
has
don't
to
know.
come in. I'm going to explode, so just let someone else go.
Brezzy, come on. Give us your thoughts, Brezzy. Come on.
If we don't buy anyone, then that's what I would go with. But I think we're going to buy people. So
I think Saka needs to stay on the wide. I think he's got too much pace, especially if he's on the left with Tierney. That's got some pace. That's got some trickery on it. In fact, that
I mean, you can even do that. Yeah, maybe put Saka on the left. Yeah, and then play Smith Rowe as 10.
Because what you're telling me is that you telling me, Gunner King, you're saying that Smith Rowe is not as good as a number 10 as Saka. If we're gonna put him on the left, bro, that's a violation, bro.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I guess I wouldn't argue that. You know, that could be good.
Do you know what?
You know, with Saka on the left. Yeah.
I hate what Gunner King's saying, because if I think about the kind of balls that Aubameyang likes, yeah, Saka's the one who feeds him them balls. Now the thing is, why not try him behind Saka, behind Aubameyang? Why not? No, you don't think it would work? I think
to play that as well.
It can be an option in a game or two now and again. But that shouldn't be a thing that's as regular. Saka's a wide man. Let's not get it twisted.
Brezzy, talk to me. Can you bring some order to this, or you on the fence here? What's going on, Brezzy?
Well, I've got something to say to Nigerian.
Oh,
exactly. Yeah.
I think you've written off Pepe far too quickly, in my opinion.
I've not written him off, Brez.
Do you know what? I swear down before you did write him off. I'm sure.
Okay, okay, you go first, and I'll tell you what I actually said.
Okay. All right. I think the deal with Pepe is the fact that he's so far back on that right hand side. He's so much more defensive than he's attacking. If he had a decent right back next to him, so someone like a Lamptey or a Cedric, instead of Chambers or a Bedouin. Chambers hasn't had a bad couple of games, but he needs a natural right back. Then he'll be more prone to go forward, which is what we need him to do, with Saka on the left, with Tierney, and then you've got Smith Rowe and Aubameyang. That is just pace. That will break any defense down. And I just think that Pepe's been in and out of the team so much that his confidence has dropped. And I just think
coming back now.
He does
starting to show what he can do now.
Yeah.
100%.
So what I said was let's not even go there. Don't trigger me tonight, guys, please, because that. All right, Mr. Silver Fox knows. He knows he's on me.
This is Silver Fox, man. He knows.
Yeah.
I'll be real good. When it's going on my next shirt if Guendouzi don't stay.
I wouldn't blame you if I'm honest, man. Who else are you going to put on the back of a shirt?
That's what I mean.
Or no one, really. So, what I said, I remember there was a game where I think he's either scored 2 games in a row or something like that, and then Arteta dropped him. So my impression was he's obviously Arteta's not feeling him. So if after scoring 2 goals, 2 games in a row, he still can't get another start, maybe Arteta's done with him. So do you know what? That's what I said. I didn't say I was done with him, but also saying my issue with Pepe is he's talent-wise, he's definitely got the ability there. My issue is a lot of his decision making is just wild. Literally wild, and this one. Have you noticed, Gums? I know how you look at the game a little bit differently because you were bigging up Ceballos and them man there. So we'll talk about that another time.
You said his name again.
Oh shit! Sorry, guys. Apologize. But yeah, have you noticed that when Pepe takes on a man, he takes him on again before he moves on? It's never just take him on, boom, and he's off. It's always take him on. Let me do it again, and then the defenders get back, and then if it works, it looks sick, obviously.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, it's not been working this season, where he does them twice.
I think he's doing all right. I think he's doing all right.
Yeah, my thoughts on Pepe is last 2 games, he's done all right. He reminds me of a Bruno, where they do some madness and you're thinking, but then they have that clutch moment. To me, it's not enough.
Yeah. I've got something.
But
do you know how good? Do you know how good the second goal was?
Match of the day looks good.
In terms of like being a.
Oh, the goal was a joke. The goal was a joke.
The goal was a
joke.
He
but
totally meant that second goal. What he did.
Yeah. So, is anyone watching the stream? Because I can hear who's watching the stream?
Yeah, I can. Oh, there's feedback, isn't there? A little bit of feedback, I think.
Yeah, but no, my thing with Pepe is
his second goal was sick. He totally meant what he did.
It's a joke.
What he did was ridiculous.
Is Pepe
the one against Crystal Palace as well?
Hold on, Gunnar. Is Pepe a luxury for us, which we can't afford at the moment? If that makes sense.
It's a necessity right now.
Because we need that hard-working winger who's going to do both jobs. Get up and down. If you look at Smith Rowe, what work he gets through. If you look at Saka, the work they get through, picking up the ball in midfield and driving past forward to get us up the pitch. Pepe's not that guy. So Pepe at Man City, if he got the Mahrez role, he would be a problem because he just got to stand out there and just do the madness. Arsenal at the moment.
Pepe does do the. He does.
No, he does, but he will get one opportunity. How many times does Mahrez get the ball and square up a man? Salah's the same. So again, that's a failing on Arsenal because we're not getting Pepe the ball where he needs the ball. But at the same time, if we're unable to at the moment, we're almost playing with 10 sometimes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you know? If you know what I'm getting at. So I'm not saying he's a bad player, but actually the system Arsenal are playing, because like Gunnar said earlier, we're not. You know how with Liverpool they were in shootouts every game. They're scoring goals, but they concede, and they put Van Dijk in. Now we can play expansive because Van Dijk does that. Arsenal don't have that defender, so we have to defend as a unit, which is what kills Abba as well, to be fair. So is it? Do you go back to basics?
And the attacking midfielders.
It kills them. I do get. I say if you look at Abba's starting position, it's so deep sometimes. Like he's in our half all the time. Where you look at Son, for instance, Harry Kane will come deeper. Son just sits on the edge of the halfway line, left, and he's looking to kill you. If we gave Pepe that license, I believe Pepe would be a killer. But if we have to keep playing this system we're playing, Pepe might not be the right one because, like Nigerian said, when he does beat a man, he step overs and comes back again. He's not confident driving with the ball. So
sometimes you just want to do the trick, get past
and go. Yeah, like I watched Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe just gets at you and he's gone, and he's either drawing a throw in or a free kick, but he's pushing teams back.
I want him to develop his game, into being someone playing like Robin. So like who will just come inside and shoot. Because I think
if he
develops that shot when he cuts inside,
his finishing's
where most of his joy is starting to come from. And like Robin was awesome at that, man. But he's got that dribbling ability. He just needs to develop it.
But the difference is, Robin wasn't asked to pick up the ball at the halfway line and do all of it. Yeah. And that's where we've got to get the system right. If we say to Pepe, you just stay up there and we give you the ball, and again,
shoot.
7 times out of 10, he's probably hitting the target from there. But we've got to get him the ball in the right areas. If we keep giving it to him on the halfway line, there's no point. Do you know what I mean?
Or telling him to have to be involved in defensive duties because then he can't do that role at the same time.
Yeah. You got to get them man on the last man, and that's where the system.
I actually think.
This is 2021. No, you must find a way. This is 2021 football. You must find a way to get up and down. The end.
He's got to, and I think this next season, I think we're going to start seeing the best of Pepe if he starts afresh.
Villarreal scored.
Don't gas me up.
Please.
Don't gas me up.
Wait, let me wait for VAR.
Yeah, VAR. Exactly.
I'm carrying on. Listen, so basically, this leads me on to my last point then of our first 11, our best first 11, right, in our team right now. Okay, so obviously, who's up top there? We've got Lacazette. Not Aubameyang, we've got Lacazette. And that plays right into Gunnar King's hands there because I know he loves a piece of Lacazette. You know what I mean? I know he likes that, man. I lie.
Listen, I mean, like, the numbers don't lie this season.
The numbers don't lie. And this is where I'm going to get to here now. And you can see these are probably our top performers. It's a disgusting list there, especially for the assists.
Our unfortunate problem is the midfielders aren't chipping in with goals either.
Wow.
No, exactly. If you look at it, it's only Pepe really who came in with 10. Saka, I believe, and Smith Rowe should be getting close to double figures. At least like set your sevens or something like that. You're looking at your defenders there.
I think those two are really burnt out as well, which is why I think it's important to bring someone in, because like they've been made to play way more games than they should have.
Yeah,
because they've carried us, and then like physically they're not ready for that. Certainly Saka's played like 58 games now, but if you think about it, he's not had that many breaks between them either.
Did you in terms of the player there, right, who's one of our best midfielders, did you see the name there?
Which one are you talking, Xhaka?
Yeah.
Try again.
Willian.
Don't do it.
What's the question?
One of our best midfielders. One of our best midfielders.
What, the one at Newcastle?
Xhaka.
Willock, yeah.
Look at it at the bottom. 6.85.
Danny, I told man don't like to listen to you. Don't like to listen.
I think he was another victim of a system that didn't fit him. Like this system.
That's kind of like. Do you know what really shocked me? Tierney's only got 3 assists. That shocks me, you know.
Do you know what I say with the assists? Like, again, Willian's one is debatable because his are just set pieces. At least Tierney's open play, Saka's open play. And that's where sometimes I say don't look at stats because, as I said, Luke Shaw created the most chances. And it's just because he was spamming in corners. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, Tierney, I thought he had more than 3. But again, sometimes if it takes a deflection, they take the assist away and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So it's all, it's all relative. But yeah, obviously, I think Tierney's had a good season, to be honest. Even 3 assists.
Go on, Brizzy.
I do have a comment, but it's going to be quite controversial, and I don't think we've got the time for it. So
bring it up.
Say it. Don't drop them bombs.
You can't say that and then not say it.
I actually prefer Guendouzi to Ceballos.
That's not a bombshell, mate.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I love both.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
There's definitely an argument that we should have kept him and played him.
Yes, King. 100%. I was shocked that he actually went in. I was just thinking it must.
Wait, wow, King, you're finally on the Guendouzi.
No, but the reason what I'm saying is, but now why I say we have to get rid of him isn't because of his ability at all. Full stop. You know, I know he's a good player, but it's just too much has happened between him and Arteta and the squad, and like.
That's exactly why he should stay. That's exactly why he should stay.
Okay, all right. He's had an issue with him, fine. But then look at Ozil. He had so many issues, but when the attack came in, he still played him.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, right now,
let's be honest. Arteta's a coward, and he can't handle man like him.
No, but I don't think it is.
Did you guys watch the interview on maybe Talk Sport or something with Gary Neville when he was interviewing Alex Ferguson? He said something. He was talking about players that he would have liked to train now, that are playing now. And he said one of the biggest disappointments for him is Dele Alli. And it's not necessarily because he said the reason is because from what he saw, there was a top player there. If I had got my hands on him, he would have been a top player. So there's certain managers that know how to handle certain personalities. Arteta, that's why I'm saying the issues at Arsenal were too big for Arteta, which is when he just comes back to the source, he should not be there.
One second, Nigel, we say that.
I like the way you keep doing that.
Alex Ferguson was the same one who packed Yatstam's bags, who's the best centre-back in the world at the time and sent him. Do you know what I mean? So there's only so much you can take as a manager. Once your authority is in question, you got to make a choice. Guardiola, there's a famous story that went my way. Guardiola at Barcelona said these lot can't drink fizzy drinks. Messi's walked into the meeting with a fizzy Pepsi, and Guardiola said, at that time, I knew I've got to leave at the end of the season because Messi's now bigger than a club. And actually, as manager, if I can't manage everything within this club, then there's no point me being here because he's taken, you know what I mean? He's now just defying what I'm saying. And again, I love Guendouzi. As I said, he's my El Capitan. But it comes a point as manager where you've got to say, actually, I'm the manager. Do you know what I mean? I can't have all this. And again, he's got to set his stall out. So again, it's the same thing with we will probably have a new manager at work who comes in and they tear every cup. You're thinking this man is hard as nails, and then after a year or two they relax a bit, but they have to set their standard here, and then we can drop it. If you set my standard here, now all of a sudden he's not going to walk all over me. So Guendouzi's probably just actually falling in the wrong place at the wrong time, where normally a manager might give him a bit of leeway because I've got the respect, but Arteta's got to earn that first, hasn't he? And that's probably where he said, I ain't got time for all of that. He's got to go. And again, big managers have let go of bigger players. Jaap Stam and Alex Ferguson.
Jumped in at the deep end. Literally.
No, but look, the difference is Jaap Stam wrote something in his book, in his autobiography about Fergie, innit? This guy, Guendouzi's a little immature little kid. There's different levels to this, bro.
But again, when you look at the problems we've got, have you got time to be dealing with that? If your team's at harmony and you've just got Guendouzi, you can cope with it. Okay. When you've got Mustafi, Kolasinac, Ozil, Guendouzi, all these players doing a madness, you've got to, do you know what I mean, cut it somewhere, innit? But
quickly before Brezzy jumps in, I want to ask you, do you reckon Arteta has the dressing room now, after he got rid of all those players? Brezzy, you can lead with that answer and then go into your point.
Well, my point is about Guendouzi. The thing that I'm going to say is this: is how many times have we been screwing out for a character that that can drive forward, that can actually do that midfield? Yes, he may be a bit hot-headed, but he's young. But you need that someone in that midfield.
A bit nutty.
Apologies for what I'm about to say now, but you need someone with a bit of spunk. You need someone who's going to sit there, drive at the box, who's going to cause issues. Like that time we was playing Palace. And Saha was on the break. It was only Guendouzi left, and he done an NFL tackle.
Took him out. He said, "You're not going nowhere, big man. I'll take this yellow."
Yeah, fine. He can be an immature prat. But if he's going to do blocks like that, if he's going to drive forward, he's going to create chances, he's going to drive into that box, I don't care. I want him in that team. And him with Guendouzi, with Willock, with Smith Rowe and Saka, that's got some young talent.
You lost.
Bro, I was with you. I was
Brizzy.
in a place, Brizzy. You had to just throw that name in.
Get in.
Brizzy, I'll come back to it. I told you he's my captain. I love the guy to pieces, but at the same time, I've got to be
captain.
You're not mad.
Huh?
That's
this is what I'm saying. Remember, I've said it, Canners. You heard me say it about 5 times. Them players there, you've got to get them on side, and the best way of doing that is giving them more responsibility. So now he's got to think, actually, I can't keep acting a fool because I'm this guy. Whereas if you just leave him as he's Guendouzi in the team, he's doing what he wants. He's acting a fool. Yeah. So I love Guendouzi. As I say, he's my favourite player in the whole squad. Wow. Regardless, he's my favourite player. I love him to pieces. So I would love for him to be in that team. But he's got to toe the line a little bit.
He's got to channel it, right? He's got to channel it.
Right.
Yeah, he's got to know when and where. There's a time and place.
I get that, but what I'm saying is that we need someone like we've been crying out for a Vieira replacement for ages. Someone who's going to sit in that midfield, who's going to boss it, who's not going to be.
He ain't going to sit. He's not that player. He's definitely not that player.
He's going to be the one that's going to be happy to go in the dirty tackles, get the yellow card, drive,
get on the ball.
We need that.
You know,
guys, what I want to do is wrap this up. I'm gonna
one last comment, quick, Canners.
Yes.
I say my favorite, one of my favorite strikers in the last 10 years is Diego Costa, and the reasons why is because he gets in players' faces, winds them up, and then sticks the ball in the back of the net after, and says, "Yep, this is exactly why I was winding you up, so I get this one chance to score like this." That's exactly what Guendouzi is, a wind up.
One question, but does he undermine the manager? That's the question, because if he's not undermining the manager, then all for it. But if Diego Costa steps over the line, we've seen what happened with him in that season, where the manager's message is saying, "Yo, you're gone." Do you know what I mean? And that caused a big uproar in the squad. Do you know what I mean? So
and then the manager
the manager got sacked in the end of it. But as I said, it's just that fine line. But again, them players, they play on the line, and they play on the edge, and that's why they are the way they are. And they tell you, he's my captain.
It's interesting there. Interesting debate. And I think it's something obviously we're going to have to debate more. But guys, what I wanted to do is just basically draw this to a close now. So obviously, there's a lot of work ahead for us. the process, we're all undecided in regards to whether or not we I have to say, me personally, I don't trust the process. Do I trust the guys at the helm to steer us in the right direction? I'm still undecided even after a year. The summer is going to be big for them. If they can put something together and, put something in place soon, rather than waiting for the Euros to start, etc., then, hey, that would go a long way for me to see what we do and how we do things. We need to start acting like a big club. Boy, guys, what I wanted to remind you and let you guys know, we've actually, the Armoury have got a giveaway.
Ooh,
yes, we've got a giveaway in testament to this day, St. Thomas's Day. We're talking what, 32 years? 22 years since no more than 32 years.
32 years, yeah. I was thinking, what's going on here, lad?
32 years. I was trying to make myself feel younger. Gosh. 32 years since that lovely, great day when we beat all the odds. And it's up for grabs now. Thomas. Them one's there. The link, the giveaway, the link is in the description. Listen, what you'll get is a DVD, the 89 DVD that you see here, and it takes you all through the whole season from start to the end to where we almost pretty much cocked it up. Only Arsenal way. You know, we're cruising the league. No one could touch us, but no. Arsenal have to make things, difficult.
Interesting. Make it
interesting.
interesting.
Try and cock it up.
That's the word, interesting.
Yeah, make it interesting. We're the only team that, can still the jaws of defeat from victory or whatever you want to say. Yeah,
even remember the last game with the Invincibles when they go down, I was like,
to a player who used to be our player. Who scored their goal. I was like, come, what's the irony there? Like, but look,
we love it. Ex-players go.
The giveaway is in the description, it's such a great DVD. If you're a Gooner, you'd have that in your DVD collection. Fantastic story. If that was based in made in Hollywood, you would have said, "Shut up! I don't believe it." Not having that.
Rover stuff.
Yeah, the original Aguero. We were Aguero before Aguero.
Aguero, innit? Yeah.
But guys, listen, we've got other parts of our season review. This is just the one part, really, just to get the juices flowing in regards to the players and formations, how we're playing. And what I want to say now, basically, is, guys, love. Bless Brezzy Gunner Page, Gumza, Gunner King, Nigerian Englishman, One Touch TV. Bless. It's been emotional, guys, and thank you very much.
Love.
Cool.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening, boy. Hope it's going to be a good evening at the moment.
We all hope for
Man United 1 down at the minute as we talk.
So I'm
later.
straight away.
So good evening.